There was a card that flipped over. It essentially flipped itself upside down, which is actually quite weird. But anyway, we'll carry on with this. We'll continue the read here. Sometimes, here they are, is within its, we have the 9, which is the accomplishment of metal, and the search, which is number 393 or 39, could be of significance for someone. There is a search in trying to establish one's own uniqueness, one's own spiritual pathway. There's also an accomplishment of a lot of things that you've done in the past that show itself up through your actions, through the things that you've achieved. So we're looking at something that has a lot to do with achievement, and to actually take note of your own personal achievements, to take note that there is the principle in itself that suggests that, as the mother of earth, that what has happened for you in your process, in your pathway, has it been something that has given you the indication that you have received what you were looking for. We're seeing the phosphorus fire here, number 9. These numbers may be specific for you. 9 and 3 and 9, 939, 399. This could also be a reference in giving you guidance as to telling you that you are ticking forward, going towards the next part of your leg of your life path. For some of you, I'm also picking up that there's definitely a lot of people that seem to be very proud of what you've achieved. Some of these people may be in the spirit as well. There is a mother here that may be very proud of someone that's done some great deeds, and it really lies in with the fact that you within yourself have achieved this process. Whether you are male or female, you have been guided to take care and take note of what has been working for you. In other words, you should actually acknowledge the fact that you've done something good, that you should take note of that. It doesn't mean that that it's about pride, but it means that you should acknowledge your own accomplishments as well. We're seeing here inspiration of influence, which is number 13, which basically explains the fact that through the phosphorus fire, which is the alchemical process of processing a lot of things in your path, you've actually come to that point where you realized you were able to get rid of certain things, and you did keep the better things at hand, and this is why there is progress for you. Can we have a little bit more on the accomplishment of metal? Spirit, please give us some guidance here on this. We see here the card Deus Ex Machina, which is number 31, which is significantly a metaphor for Greek, in the way that Greeks wrote their stories, where they had decided within, as the author of their story, as the author of your story, that you have made a sudden change within your life path by creating a new outcome for yourself. You've become the author of your life, and you have had the freedom to be able to change that pathway. Okay, we have a little bit on the search here. There's still some that are looking for the goldsmith metal, looking for the 8 of coins, looking for something to give you the satisfaction that you will have when you go forward into this business deal. For some of you, I'm seeing that there is definitely an adjustment in terms of needing to apply a focus on what it is that you're going to bring to the table in being able to achieve this business deal. Can I see a little bit about the Mother of Earth here? You're seeing the negotiation of metal number 2, which suggests 8 and 2 here. Also something significant that stands out to me, where the negotiation is about whether what is the most important thing in your life right now. Has it been something that you had to negotiate for to be able to get what it is that you require? For some of you may need to negotiate a particular business deal with a person who is a mother, or who is perhaps your mother, for a particular outcome. There's also, for some of you, I can see perhaps some of you have had to sell certain things to be able to get to the next part of your life path. You've had to sell because you perhaps struggled to be able to get hold of that financial income. But in the interim, it suggests here, and we'll look into it a little bit deeper just now, as to what the outcome is for you in that way. Can we have a little bit more on the phosphorus for fire here, please? We're seeing chaos and order underneath it. So there are definitely, for some of you and not for all, still people that are struggling to be able to accept your ability to become your own creative agent or your creative agency in terms of what you're able to accomplish. There's a lot of people that are seems to be struggling with what you're presenting for them. Some of these may be your family members, but in a sense, it really creates a bit of chaos, and for some it creates some order in the terms of how you present material out to certain people. This could be for someone who seems to be in the education process or place, or some of you may even have your own channels where you're starting something up and you're actually really wanting to make a change and put some positive impact in, and you're wanting to do this a little bit slower, since it seems to be, and I'm hearing you say, how much slower must I go? And I'm hearing that the spirits are saying, you must go as slow as you feel you are able to go. Don't race through this, don't charge through it. Just take your time while you're putting the information out there. Okay, we see on the influences and inspirations here, we have the priestly as well as roots, the roots of things, the root of things. This card touches the priestly side or the spiritual awareness in terms of the chaos and order here, where you're essentially wanting to establish your own pathway, your own route. You want to step into starting up your own deeper part of your life journey for yourself, and this may actually cause, for some, perhaps it's perhaps disruptive, because when there's an application of heart energy taking place, there's definitely it challenges a lot of things that seem to be in a type of consensus, which you're actually breaking away from. So this is for someone who is connecting with particularly a community as such. I'm seeing a community interaction with some of you, and I'm seeing that you're also trying to establish something new, because you're really in that flow of creating your own experience. There may be also someone that is involved in perhaps even reading or doing psychic healing work, or is a healer, or is a psychic, or is in that way connected, and in this way it may create ripples within the community itself. So you're urged to take it slower, but with the same inspiration as you've done it from before. So it's not so much about what you're wanting to influence people rather than to inspire. That's more sort of the thing that I'm seeing here coming through. And in that, the question is, I'm hearing, can I make money from this? And I will answer your question in a second here. So coming back to the person who is their own self, their own author that is able to write their own life path for them, meaning you have the ability to find the divine union within you, which is the masculine and the feminine abilities to create and to also be able to experience your own creation. That it is, as long as you're doing this within yourself, you're able to then experience a lot of things that will materialize. Nine of coins here. Your life journey for you. You'll pick up on those things for you on your path. Here is Vanity of Earth, which explains the goldsmith. There's a lot of things that someone is wanting to sell, a lot of things that perhaps have been inherited from their family. And in this way, it's taking some time to be able to put it all into the right way. I want to say don't feel guilty about it, because what you're doing is also helping yourself, and you're clearing out the energy here. The Vanity of Earth here suggests 8, that you are in the nexus point where you're being given guidance to take note, to get rid of things that don't serve you in your spirit, that does not serve you in your heart. And perhaps the person that's left things behind for you, and particularly someone who's inherited a particular inheritance I'm seeing here. I'm seeing a lot of jewelry as well, that you can keep it and do whatever you want with it, because the person that left it for you had only the good intentions for that. So this may be very specific for someone that might find this reading here. Overall, let's see, the center point of the whole thing here is the child. Very interesting one here, suggesting that you are bringing things into place now, into balance now. The child is a metaphor for something that you're beginning. It's also suggesting that perhaps some of you are actually expecting, but I'm unable to go into those sort of readings, because it really is something that is, personal to you, and that is your journey in that way. And so what I'm seeing here is that there's definitely a curiosity in building up new things. It even says here, curiosity, beginning, balance, and friendly and new. So you're going to be experiencing these things coming towards you when you are able to address the deeper part inside of yourself. That's essentially what is helping you to go forward. The inner child is being healed here through the negotiation with the mother. You may be a mother yourself, and being able to heal that inner child that perhaps had experienced perhaps trauma or pain in the past. So this is very interesting how it is unfolding in itself here. Overall, let's see, can you make money from that? I was thinking that about the person who's the influencer or the inspiration to certain things. It says Daughter of Water here. You can make something of it, but it would require you to adapt a certain way of spiritually connecting with your emotions, and to allow yourself to go through the cleansing of perhaps fears of the past. Perhaps you may be concerned about the past, where you have had some pain that you had to deal with. For some others, I'm picking up that there's someone in your life that may not always be giving you the right direction in terms of your personal experience. You may not find certain things being helpful in a certain way. This could be someone that is working for a particular company or a firm that is being undermined in some way. I'm just picking up on the energy here that there is specifically, let's say, what I'm seeing here is there's a boss and he has a child, and you have to answer to the boss, but you have to go through the child or the daughter of this particular company. And the energy suggests that you should address it with as much delicacy as you are able to do. You're seeing the Daughter of Metal here. You're definitely going through that struggle. We're definitely coming back to the people who are wanting to become the inspiration and guidance. You will make financial income from it, but you're going to have to expand a lot on certain things that are going to be able to be warranted, that could give financial value to what it is that you're wanting to present in your particular endeavor here. Perhaps this is a little bit of a career advice here in such a way, but that really is for those who are resonating with this particular reading. Overall, we'll see what the final outcome would be and what to expect within this week. You're seeing the review of metal here 4, which suggests that within the pathway you'll be finding yourself in a direction where you are able to look at what you've now set in place. You've been setting certain things in your mind. You've had to take the time out, Daughter of Fire, to decide what it is that is beneficial for you within yourself. You've applied the aspect of taking control of your own thoughts. you're leading yourself towards the pathway that you seek to experience, to become inspirational. Overall, I'm seeing that the deepest part within the soul, within the heart, which is water, soul, is what has to be healed once you apply the pathway within your own higher self. In other words, connecting with what feels right within you on a deeper level. When this gives you an answer, it will give you the direction in which to take outside of yourself. So you can find the pathway in yourself on your journey when you find the path and create it within yourself in the first place. And that requires a lot of lessons to learn through this pathway. There is the reflection of reflecting offer of water, number 3 again here. 3 seems to be here in this pile as well. There's 13 and there's 3 here, suggesting that you are able to listen now to what it is that is being given to you from your experience. In other words, you're reviewing yourself, and your review of yourself is what should be done in a way that is a loving way towards yourself. If you change how you see yourself, if you make peace with how you see yourself, if you see yourself as mattering, that you have a matter or that you matter to yourself, then you will have material or money or metal, which is a material element that will be rewarding you in this process. Overall, we have the twister of air here, suggesting for those that may be involved with certain people here, maybe in certain places here, specifically needing to deal with certain difficult people, that if you keep yourself within a position, which is number 6 here, keep yourself with healthy boundaries and allow the process to move away from you. Perhaps there will be some people that might feel this way towards what you're doing, by feeling that you're just making them feel like they want to ice out certain things or something like that. I'm also picking up that there's a relationship here between 2 people where one is being cold and distant in their connection with the other, and this is due to the fact that there has been ears that have been listening to outside sources rather than to focus on communicating with the other person. And so in this way, what it suggests is also saying for someone that's going through this process is that you are handling this in the way that it is best suited to your own way of being true to yourself. You should never feel that you need to apologize for being true to you. We're going to be looking at what the Oracle has to say for us on these readings here. They have been shuffled. So we're going to see, can we see the overall Oracle outcome, or explaining to us a little bit more in depth what it is that we're looking at. We're seeing here is intention. So the intention has to be set in place, or sorry, intellect. Interesting. Intellect. Apologies for that. But sometimes certain things come the way that they are. The intellect here is the focus on the mind. And what is it about the intellect that we need to know for the collective here? That it requires, it says boy, it requires a masculine way of looking at things. In other words, you have to adapt to the masculine side of your own thoughts. And for some of you, perhaps the masculine part is a boy. Perhaps some of you are dealing with a boy in your life. But overall, the guidance here is suggesting that you are looking at your process within this part of your life, for whoever this is, to either focus on what the boy has to say to you, or you are the boy and you have to decide how you're going to address who you are dealing with here, specifically what you want to put in place here. And for some, the energy also explains that you have to learn to build up the boy to become a man, so that there has to be growth within your masculine principle, whether you're male or female. It's irrespective, because the boy is a symbol for creating, putting things in place, whereas the feminine is a symbol for receiving the egg or the seed so that creation can take place ultimately. Can we see from Spirit Oracle, what is it that this group need to see here? It says here nobility. So you are in a noble place within your life. You take great care of the things around you. You are protected for what it is that you have within you. You have a spirit that is noble, and in this way it brings up sunshine, which suggests that this is the solar assistance, or the sun that shines upon the nobility of the spirit in connection through the heart. And that means for you, you are experiencing this process where you are learning to understand and to see the light within yourself, because it starts here with the search, and so it leads to the sunshine and the light that you've been seeking. In this card, it suggests that this man, Diogenes, sorry for that, has been looking for light, has been looking for something. He's been looking for an honest man for so long, and he had put himself outside of the city where he used to live, and had only come to that realization eventually that the light was always within him, and that he was the most honest on his own journey. So therefore, it explains to you that once you find your own truth and your own honesty within yourself, you will experience the sunshine that you keep seeking from certain things around you. Can we have the oracle on the center point or the heart of the matter here? We're seeing ephemeral joy. Ephemeral joy is where you are in a place where you are essentially experiencing the joy, and let me say, on an empathic level, you will be experiencing that joy from all the things that you will encounter in your life path once you've been able to heal the things that are from within. Can we have a little more on the ephemeral joy? It comes up with authority. I want to say, may joy be your authority, which keys in mostly to the message here is that you are guided through your own empathic connection to finding joy. You are the creator of your own joy. And in that way, your joy is essentially felt and experienced through a visceral experience, through your mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that is what gives you the authority to be able to give the information and direction and heal the certain wounds that you are experiencing. So you are, remember, the author of your own life path here, and you are learning to adapt to certain things. You may have to heal certain relationships that you have with perhaps a mother, or you are a mother who is healing certain relationships with her son. And in this way, you're being given an indication from Spirit saying, you've got the joy inside of you. You've got all these things inside of you. You have the power and the ability to be able to clarify what it is that you seek to empower within yourself. In other words, what you want within yourself, what you want outside of you is already within you. It is within the mind and the heart and the ability to express it. Next card shows conference. So there's a conference that's being held here. So perhaps you, with your influencer, inspiration channel that you have, may need to hold a conference or a Zoom conference that would actually be giving you a little bit more exposure on what you do. And that in itself will actually give you the direction in how to acquire a little bit more of a stronger footprint in your path. If you are not one of these people, if you're not one who is going to have a conference online or whatever, then it also suggests that you take the care when you are at work, because this feels very work focused to me. This feels very much like it's very work connected, suggesting that you are actually coming in that place where you need to take very care of how to find the strength in order to not fall asleep, slumber, in the specific direction. So you need to stay on your feet. You cannot go there to the conference to go fall asleep. You are being reminded to actually take note. This one just came out here, to become concerned about what impact these things have on you. If it bores you, then change your path. Go somewhere else. Go into another direction if that suits you in that way. I will leave this for you. Overall, you are being given a direction here to follow. For many of you, you've got a very colorful life path in front of you. And for most of you, you are in control of your own joy, your life, your spirit, in order to be able to establish what it is that you seek to acquire. For some of you that are seeking out financial assistance and support through your journey, you know how to create it from within. You have to become something you have to be visible, and you have to be in a position of matter. You matter to yourself. Your happiness matters to you. It's not selfish. It is based on self-care. And in that way, you'll be given the direction to become visible to the energy of seeking the finances to come to you, as opposed to the other way around. Less chase, more focus, more poise. I will leave this with you. Until next time.